The main reason why I came here and why I invited diplomats accredited to Uganda and why I invited pressmen was in order to show them the skulls and the skeletons of the people who were killed right here in this compound by the battalion of Obote, which was based here. When I passed here, when I was preparing my troops to attack Kampala, I had not actually, I had not seen these skeletons before that. Now when I stopped here, I found skulls just scattered all over the place. Then I asked the people, I said, who was killing these people? They said it was Obote's people. Of course I knew that Obote's people were killing people. But at least I thought they would bury those whom they kill. But the skulls were all over here, all over this compound here. I told the people here to collect the skeletons and put them in one place so that when we have time we can bring outside people so that they can see for themselves what has been going on in this country of ours. They have collected skulls here in Kiboga. They have collected skulls in Ramata, which is I think 12 miles from here on the way to Kampala. They have collected skulls in Bukomero. These are just for this area. And if you care, you can go and see the skulls at Katende, which is 17 miles on Kampala Massacre Road. You can go and see the skulls in Kaya's farm. That one is just a slaughterhouse. In Kaya's farm after Luwero. The skull, Masulita, all over this place, all over wherever these fellows were staying. I chose this Kiboga at random, but maybe the only point one can make about this place is that these skeletons were right in the barracks, because this was the barracks here. You can travel around, you can see the trenches. The trenches are just around here, because this was the base of one battalion of Obote's special brigade. They had a brigade for counterinsurgency, which they used to call the special brigade. Now, one of the battalions of the special brigade was the Bear Battalion. Even the names are fascist. Bear. The Bear Battalion. It was called the Bear Battalion. It was based here in Kiboga. And what is illustrative for the outside people to understand is that these skeletons were right in the encampment of the Bear Battalion, just here. Because the evidence is there, the trenches are there, these are the houses. I think this was Amari or something like that, because we attacked it twice. We have attacked this place twice. We attacked it on the 1st of June, 1983, and we attacked it the second time on the 24th of August, 1985. So I know it very well. I know all the hills and I know. No, after the third time, the first time I am the one who attacked it, the police station. So we know the place very well. Now, what is interesting is that the skulls and the skeletons are right inside the barracks here, where we are standing. Yes. Either in the barracks proper or just on the edge of the barracks. Now, this is very crucial because there could be arguments. Of course, even those are lame arguments, but there could be arguments, people saying that maybe those who were in charge did not know what was happening. Now, the phenomenon here settles that argument, because the skulls, the skeletons were right here in the barracks. So any high officer who wanted to see the skulls, the CEO, the brigade commander, the intelligence officers, had every opportunity to see those skulls. Certainly, if they didn't see the skulls, the stench was there to remind them that there were hundreds of dead bodies here. The outburst from that old man there was a retort to my comment that maybe the leaders did not know that killings were going on. So he is saying that he himself was a prisoner here, and he pointed out a house where he used to stay, where he used to be kept, and he said they used to pick people and kill them, when he was here. That's what he was saying, that old man. But of course, as you know, we had a lot of difficulty to explain to the outsiders the criminality of Obote's regime. Some, I think, were genuinely skeptical about the evidence we gave them, but I think some knew, but they had other considerations. That's why they did not take the people of Uganda, the plight of the people of Uganda, seriously. Mark you, this battalion was here even after Obote was overthrown. So when we attacked it on the 24th of August, it was 1 month after Okello had taken over, but again the bodies were here and even fresh ones had been added. He's just repeating the same story that they used to come and pick from the refugee centers. That is also very important. He's saying that they were picking people from the refugee centers, which were being looked after by the Red Cross. The refugee encampments. There is one down there. So they used to come and pick, according to that old man there, that they used to come and pick girls, men from the encampments of the refugees, which were being looked after by the International Committee of the Red Cross and other aid agencies. For the people of Kiboga, I wish to thank you very much for the big support you gave to our struggle. Because you remember, after attacking Kawamba the first time, I passed through here, and I went to the valley, the River Mayanja Valley, the valley of River Mayanja, and we were based there for all these 5 years. You here in Kiboga, you were working with your battalion, Nkuruma battalion, which was based in the bush, in the savannah of the River Mayanja Valley. And you gave us a lot of support in spite of the difficulties imposed on you by the regime of Obote and later on of Okello.
In Kiboga Hospital used to be the brigade headquarters of the Bear Battalion of the Obote government, and atrocities they committed to the people are seen by the remains of these skulls, and using all sorts of President Museveni is dismay at seeing the skulls of these people that were killed during the period when Kiboga Hospital was being used as the brigade headquarters for the Bear Battalion of the Obote government. Some of these were killed using guns, others were burnt to death, others were tied and died of starvation, and the age ranged from 7 years to above 80 years. The villagers who helped to compile this skeleton claim there are over 10,000 other skeletons in other areas.
And this is the nuts they use. This is the nuts they use. And that's
The president, Mr. Yoweri Museveni, conducts the international pressmen and heads of diplomats and agencies accredited here to areas of atrocities. One of the mass graves was excavated to expose the dead bodies. Others were just thrown off from wherever they were killed, allowed to rot to their points of death. You know, some were burnt. The whole area about.
This was the slaughterhouse. This was the slaughterhouse. Even on the hills, but otherwise we would walk the whole day. Even on the hill, there are other places like this. Another dead body, skeletons and so. Any questions, pressmen? This is a strange press conference, you know. You can have a press conference here. You are fond of questions.
Will the people be brought to justice?
This time we don't...
President, will these people be brought to justice?
That depends on the excellencies here, because these fellows have run to their countries. That depends on the excellencies here.
You ask for them.
Could we ask the Sudanese ambassador?
Just ask for them.
Could we ask the Sudanese ambassador?
No, let me answer your question, Bwana. One man has asked me, will these people be brought to justice? And my answer is, it depends on the excellencies here. Because the criminals we can lay our hands on are not here, they have run away. So, if the excellencies think they deserve justice, they will be brought. If they don't, then they will stay.
So you will be applying for extradition of criminals?
That's what I can do. I can apply for extradition. I cannot do more than that.
But have you officially asked the Zambian government, particularly President Kaunda is a good Christian, haven't you told him about the things that have been happening here?
I will definitely ask him.
Have you officially done so?
We haven't yet, but we shall do so.
Will you apply for the extradition of former President Obote?
Of course, he should be the first to arrive here. Yeah. Who else are you going to bring if you don't bring Obote?
What about those who have fled to Sudan?
The same, all of them. Those who are, for instance, it is easy to work out. You see, the whole thing is easy to work out. You get hold of the commanding officers who are here, because they are known, you know. You get hold of those, and they are second in command, because they are known. It's not so difficult to know who was here when this thing was happening. And you can also know who was in any other barracks. We know their names, so it's not a big problem. So we get hold of those, and they will tell us the story. So it's not difficult at all to work out who did what. Yes, it's not difficult to work out. So one cannot say that this is a kangaroo court. How do you get the evidence? The man was commanding a battalion here. Who was he? What name?
Will you ask for international assistance on a human rights commission
in
order to facilitate the extradition proceedings later on?
Yes. We shall do so. But I invite you to visit all these places, because this is just one place.
What are you eventually going to do with these skulls?
The idea is now being circulated by the people that we could have a museum. Museums for them, because it's not one. In every place where there were killings, there should be a museum. Like this place here. This idea is being, circulated by the people. But we have not taken a final decision on it.
Mr. President, when you arrived here and you found the skeletons and skulls scattered over the place, do you have any rough estimate figure?
In the compound there.
In the compound, do you have any rough estimate figure of how many bodies were?
Those, according to the report of the local people, they say that those there are 237. The skulls, 237. Those ones there. But that's what they were able to collect. It's not for just this place here.
Some are dumped in lagoon down there.
And some are thrown in pit latrines, some are what, so it's not... That's what they collected around this compound. But if you go down, there's another place
Mr. President, there have been suggestions for the setting up of a commission of inquiry into massacres of this nature. Yes. As you know, Mr. President, I have been in various detentions of this nature, and there are enormous mass graves which cannot be seen from remains like this. Now, I understand that you have taken some of UNLA criminals, and they are being released very fast from the camps. Don't you think this will jeopardize the cause of justice?
Well, we are trying to, it's reconciliation, we are trying to, those fellows who against whom there is evidence, we arrest if there is evidence against him. But if there isn't, but normal evidence is easy to get, because these local people here know who was doing what.
But the problem is that you are releasing these people who have been detained in these camps so fast that before you even get the evidence from the people, there are those who have been in Mpigi, officers that we know were killing people. We see them on the streets of Kampala already with the clearance from UNLA, from NRA.
Bring evidence. You see, for us, we can't arrest somebody unless we have good evidence.
Well, this is why we are suggesting a commission of inquiry or something like that, where citizens can take evidence against these criminals.
Okay, that's a good idea. You mean expediting that process? It's a good idea. But at the same time, we can't hold somebody unless we have got evidence against him. You know, it's a dilemma. Otherwise, we'll end up like, like you were. You know, people would hold you for no reason. Yeah? It's tricky. It's tricky. Yes?
Mr. President, sir, besides the soldiers in the army, we had people like chairman, local chairman of the Obote's UPC. Now we hear some of these were actively involved in atrocities of this nature. Now in certain areas we hear they have been allowed to get away scot-free. What do you think about that?
This is only if we don't have evidence. If we don't have evidence. If the man who was here, we would have arrested him. For instance, this one who was here, the CEO. We may not know the rest, but we would have got hold of the commanding officer and the intelligence officer. Then we would have started there. But these fellows have run away.
But Mr. President, there is a question of those taking back the soldiers from the defunct army of Milton Obote and the Tito Okello. Don't you think it wouldn't be good to take them back in this NRA army?
The problem is not the soldiers. The problem is the leadership. Soldiers can be good or bad depending on the leadership.
Because they are already spoiled by behaviors.
No.
Do you think they can spoil our soldiers of NRA?
They may have some traits, but they can be... The problem is the leadership. Even our boys here were misbehaving. They would come and sometimes steal some people's muhogo, cassava. Then we get a report from the population. Then we test those who are stealing the muhogo. Sometimes we miss them, sometimes we get hold of them. If the leadership is struggling against these wrongs, it cannot go to this extent.
But, Mr. President, don't you think that the process of 6 years working with you, building up from a very small nucleus to what you are now, you can't repeat that in the classroom, and you can't repeat this in a lesson?
Oh, I am now richer. I'm richer. I've got prisons. I'm a rich man with the prisons, with the locks. I'm a rich man. At that time, I had no prisons. It was difficult to handle anybody. You see, the only effective punishment we had was execution. If you put him in the bush, he can escape, run through the bush and go. But now I'm a rich man. I've got prisons of all manner.